as it stands, of course, still no place for Arsenal in the top 10. Chelsea sit there after that victory at the weekend, hard fought against Brentford. Liverpool second, Manchester City third, Brighton fourth. You have to go down to sixth, which is where Manchester United have fallen after that defeat against Leicester City. Obviously, we've talked about it a lot over the last couple of days. I think we didn't really focus on too much was those post-match comments from the United players. It's what Pogba said. We've been having these kind of games for a long time and haven't found the problem. We've conceded easy and stupid goals. We deserve to lose. We need to change something. What this was telling, we need to find the mentality and tactics to win. Meanwhile, Bruno Fernandes coming out and saying we cannot do this anymore. We did it so many times. We cannot slow the game down when we're winning. We have to make it quicker. Score once again. Get one or two more goals. And after that, maybe you can slow it down. Mark Ogden writing over on ESPN FC, Craig, made the point that, can you imagine Liverpool or indeed Manchester City players or old Manchester United players coming out and saying those sort of things about their manager's tactics?
Ferguson these players would have been dragged. The whole squad would have been dragged in the dark of midnight, right? And they would have been told in no uncertain terms, right? We are having a hard time at the moment. Bunker down and keep your mouth shut, and let's do our talking on the field. This is the last thing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs. As you know, I'm not his biggest fan anyway, but he certainly doesn't need his top players coming out and talking about tactics and talking about this and talking about that. What he needs, apart from performance, is the players to get in the dressing room, get on the training ground and work bloody hard to try and sort it out, because he's in the mire and this is only making it worse.
Robbo, Pogba saying we need to find the mentality and tactics to win.
Well, the only thing the players can do is talk honestly, but they've got to talk honestly about themselves. You know, you can't start having because they're having a little dig at the manager about the tactics. You know, did they play as well as they could have done? Well, Pogba gave the ball away cheaply on too many occasions. His recovery runs weren't quite good enough. I think he's a fantastic player, but he's not consistent enough at the moment. The defenders didn't defend well enough. Yes, I think that Solskjaer's got problems with his tactics. When things start to go wrong, he can't find a remedy for it. And they're too inconsistent with the way they play. They started off the season, the crowd behind them because Ronaldo's there was a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of pace and power. And suddenly, when things start to go wrong, he's not sure how to solve it. Manchester United are a good side. They're not a great side at the moment, and they're going to be inconsistent. But the players shouldn't be talking like that about the manager.
The thing with Solskjaer is, I think everyone agrees he's a nice guy. Obviously, he's come in, he's steadied the ship. But can you imagine him confronting Pogba or Fernandes about this? Well, should he be in a position where he should?
I would assume he'll talk to him. But as Craig started off by saying, Fergie would have drug him in at midnight.
Right.
He wouldn't be talking to them. He would be telling them.
But people would say, oh, that's a different time.
Well, it's horses for courses. So when things are going badly, something has to be done.
Right.
And if you're telling me that the only thing you can do is be really nice and talk to somebody and encourage them, then good luck trying to win the Premier League or any other silverware. Why do you think he's probably not won any silverware? Mm-hmm. Because the players at the end of the day know that they can get away with stuff with him. That's what it seems like. And I can assure you, experienced players on the field when the game's going on grab the team by the scruff of the neck. And I'm talking Pogba. Pogba's no kid anymore.
Sure.
Pogba's an experienced international guy. He's one of the guys who should be sorting out on the field. And he's talking about mentality. You don't know what you're getting for Pogba in a Man United strip from one game to the next.
Yeah.
You got Fernandes as well saying, oh, we don't do this and don't do that. Well, guess what? You're not another one of the experienced guys. You're supposed to sort this out. You got Harry Maguire, an experienced international guy. He's been around for a fair bit now. So none of your experienced guys are going to help everybody around them. You're talking about the perfect spot for the three of them, right down the pipe. So when you go ahead, you get everybody in tight and you say, right, nobody's getting through.
Okay.
They don't do that. But it's all his fault. No, it's all his fault because they don't do that. Mm. But on the field of play, you can't turn around and say, it's not my fault, it's the manager's fault, because that's what they're doing.
But he's a nice guy and the players like him. So, I mean, that's just, I don't know what kind of statement that is, by the way. But, you know, the other side of the coin is, to go back to what Stevie said, Bruno Fernandes, after a really bright start, and it was, has spent most of the time now complaining when anybody tackles him. Mm. Paul Pogba, in nearly 2.5 years of Premier League football, has got 4 goals. Now, there'll be people tweet into this show and rabble on about stats and assists and all that. I don't want to hear it. It's nonsense, absolute nonsense. But these are supremely talented players. But listen, what happens is when results go badly, and I'm not against people giving press conferences and that, because that's part of the job that we're in and we all had to do it. But I think there are certain times, particularly at difficult times, when you have to be cute about who you put in front of the media. And you really have to limit that, because, you know, it is the siege mentality. And you don't want these stories getting out. And any little thing is going to become a massive story. And so I think it's important that Solskjaer, by the way, and I don't think it's his biggest problem, as you know, but it is a problem. And I think it's important he addresses that. But to go back to the other point, Dan, about a different era, Ferguson only retired in 2013. I mean, it's not that long ago. And he also managed Ronaldo and managed them pretty well. So he knew how to deal with these modern superstars. It's not easy, but he did it as well, if not better than most. And Solskjaer is just another hurdle for him to try and get over at the moment. But as I said, it's certainly, particularly with the games coming up, not his biggest one.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.